In today's video, I want to talk about how my routine and just really my routine has changed ever since I've gotten clients for my AI agency. So, if you guys are new to my channel, trying to build $1 million AI agency, really just trying to make money online. By the way, before I start this, I have a free AI agency Discord you guys can check out. First link below in the description. Completely for free. Me and my boy, tons of sauce. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars on this so far. Just spent $7,500 on a mentorship. We drop all of the sauce that we can. They're all for free, so make sure you guys join that. But in my AI agency, we've onboarded 2 clients here in the past month-ish, in the past month and a half-ish. And this has been our first batch of clients that we've gotten under good systems. So I've gotten a few clients before, but it wasn't under good systems. Like really, the one guy got really lucky. He was like, literally, there was very little I could have done to screw up that close. And then the other guy I was on part of a team with, and that team didn't work out. It wasn't under good systems. So these 2 people are under really good systems, and just going over how my routine has changed. So I actually have a little piece of paper there. Too lazy to get tape, but basically it says structure, right? Sales, first 4 hours, fulfillment, booking calls, and closing calls. So this is actually the order of importance that my mentor taught me and my boy on what we should be prioritizing. So before I showed you this, we didn't have any fulfillment really. Like we were just improving our own systems and improving our own systems to get clients. Now that we have fulfillment, that has completely changed my day. So I'll give you an example of what my workflow could have looked like before we got our clients like 2 months ago. I would have woke up, I would have done sales, whatever it was for, first half of the day. After that, I would have made content for my business channel. I would have made content for my personal channel. I would have read some books, and I would have headed to bed, right? And on calls with my boy, all throughout the day. But there was no fulfillment there, right? And now, using this fulfillment that our mentor said, I'm still doing, my first chunk of the day is dedicated towards one thing, which is most important to me, which I think is sales. Number 2 is fulfillment. Now, it isn't fulfillment just in the way where it's like, you make an ad, blah, 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 you're good to go. No, like this is the real stuff. And the stuff that we're offering, it's, it's a good offer, right? And at the end of the day, me, my boy, we know that we have to have the best fulfillment out there, right? So many people suck at fulfillment, right? They only care about getting the clients. And you should only care about getting the clients until you get your first one. And then your gears really switch. And I guess that's what I wanted to go over in this video. Is just how much of a shift I felt, and not abrupt, but how powerful that has been as soon as I got clients. Because I was in client mode, no fulfillment, no nothing. And then as soon as we get a client, it's like, okay, step back, we got to do this. So just yesterday, I made a video on it, how I run ads for my agency. That was the first time with like good systems. Again, with our mentors, they taught us how to do this. They told us what books to read, where to read, Alex Hormozi. And it was my first time actually scripting ads in a way that was the most efficient possible, right? So as Hormozi talks about, I have his playbooks. I was gifted it. I didn't have 6K back, 4 months ago when he launched this, 3 months ago. But within that, right, he basically said you get 50 hooks, 3 to 5 meets, and then 1 to 3 CTAs. When I was scripting ads, I would just you are supposed to copy and take inspiration from ads that are already working. But I would just do that. Like I wouldn't test anything. And that was true. Like I did not know how to run ads. And still there's probably a lot more people that are better than me running ads, but I understand how to do it now. Like if any sort of business told me, is like, hey, can you run ads for me? I could run ads. And that's pretty confident inducing to know you can do that. But that's besides the point of this video, fulfillment. Now I spent probably from 10 o'clock to 1:30, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, just scripting ads, right? Like I had to script 20 plus hooks. I probably should have done more hooks, but 20 plus hooks, different angles. For instance, and I'm not going to reveal all my sauce, but we go from a perspective of somebody telling a story, right? Just based on the ads that we're making, based on what we found worked good. It's not necessarily me talking to the camera and be like, hey, I got the secret for you. home service business owners and X doing X, whatever. We did it from a story perspective. So we're going to see how that goes, right? And we got 20 hooks, so 20 different angles, 3 different stories that we're doing. And that took all of the fulfillment. Now, it was actually for my agency, but I was doing all the ads in particular. And then the day before that, I ended up making the new campaign for one of our clients. And, yesterday when I made all those ads, I gained all of my pretty much knowledge of Facebook ad, not knowledge, like I knew Facebook ads kind of, but my adequate enough knowledge where I could okay, I'm going to do this. That came from the client fulfillment, 3 days ago. And so within that, right, my whole day revolves around fulfillment now. With me and my boys, we keep everything in like a Miro board. We don't use Slack. Well, we use Discord, but there's only 3 of us as of right now. And it's like everything is fulfillment. I had to make a Facebook account for one of our clients. He's not very responsive right now, which, nothing in a bad way. People get busy, especially some of the people that we're working with as of right now. But I set up a Facebook account. We were doing that, scripting the ads, making the forms, making the pixel, setting up our AI agent. As you know, it's AI agency, so there's AI within everything, setting up the sub accounts and go high level, setting up the funnels, reminders, everything like that. That comes first before we can even scale, right? And that's good and bad because, at the end of the day, that's the main thing we're trying to do is obviously help these people, right? Fulfill for these people. And then going back to that handicaps us from scaling, if that makes sense. Like we get the experience, but we then have to focus on our clients before we can focus on us and us scaling, right? And we have a whole new campaign that we've got the knowledge to launch with like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and we still haven't launched just because we're focused so much on the fulfillment side. But really, that's just how it's changed. This is only a 7-minute video, but if you yourself are running any sort of agency, I know a lot of the people here that are watching come because of my AI agency videos, right? Or my review on Wyatt and Carson's course that I was in. And so within that, I guess, lesson to take from here, because at the end of the day, I always want to give a lesson. You watching, I want to give you some value from my videos. If you're running any sort of agency, any sort of B2B, as soon as you get your client, I'm telling you, your workflow, how you run your business is going to completely change. Now, that's not in a bad way, and this should change, right? If you don't focus on your client, you're going to have terrible results. What is terrible results going to turn into, right? You're going to get lack of experience, lack of confidence. The client itself, that could have been a testimonial, right? They're not going to want to work with you. They're going to want a refund. You're going to lose money back from the exchanges. Won't be much, but still, you don't want that to happen, right? As soon as these people come in, as soon as you get clients, you need to focus on that. And when you do, it's going to be very different than what you were running before. Now, obviously, you focus on yourself too, but this takes priority, right? For me, first 4 hours of the day are blocked out for my sales, but then I have, 12 more hours, 10 more hours to do fulfillment, right? And 10 hours a day for fulfillment is way more than enough. And then it comes down after that, booking calls, closing calls, booking calls, obviously ads and content, and then closing calls. That's more your sales ability, but I think sales is way more important than just for closing calls. Sales is a way of life, right? And you hear anyone talk about that. Alex Hormozi just was reading, just was reading his $100 million playbook for closing. And he talks about this, right? Like closing, it's a way of life. Closing is one of the most important skills in your businesses. So, that's important. Then fulfillment, right? All my days just surrounded around fulfillment now, and then the personal stuff. So this video I'm making at like 7:30. I don't have a clock. Pretty sure it's like 7:37. But yeah, basically that's the main idea of this video. So yeah, if you're running any sort of B2B, as soon as you get your first client, fulfillment's going to be the thing you focus on. It's going to turn your structure upside down. Now, that's a good thing. At the end of the day, that signals growth, but just be wary of it. So yeah, that's my video. If you guys haven't subscribed to me yet, make sure to subscribe, follow the journey. I would appreciate it a lot. I'm not quitting. I know I only have 350 subscribers right now. I don't really care at this point, right? I'm not quitting. This is what I'm going to do until it works. And so stick around for that. You know, I truly do believe that I'm, you know, a very unique person, that I have the drive, I have the work ethic that most people don't have. And I'm never ever going to give up. I'm telling you this. This is how I'm going to live my life. I have goals to hit. I have people to support. I'm never giving up. And so you guys can stick around for that. You know, I promise you, going to be something one day, and you guys will get in early on this. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Make sure to follow my Instagram, more daily updates on my AI agency. This is more the long form, the concepts, ideas, all of that. But thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Above all, stay wise.